On the Mark podcast, bringing you facts, opinions, and personal experiences from the outdoor industry.
I got the opportunity to shoot an AR-15. That was one of the funnest experiences that I've had.
It's pretty exciting. It's a big rush.
Presented by SightMark, an industry leader in optics, bore sights, night vision, and more. Make your mark. Welcome to the On the Mark podcast. My name is Jeff Hamilton. I'm your host. I'm recording from the SightMark studio, and calling in today, I got Pookie with Pookie's Archery and Guns out of Louisiana. Pookie, are you on the line?
Oh, yeah, so I'm online.
Okay, great. Pookie, I wanted to start off a little bit with just a quick intro to you and your shop. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, we've been in business for over 30 years, and we specialize in selling pro shop material, top-of-line guns, bows, crossbows, and so forth. And we even fool with these high-end air guns, PCP and so forth.
Sure.
And we have a service center. We service everything we sell.
Now, this is Pookie or this is Troy Landry?
No, this is Pookie. Troy Landry comes see me when he needs help.
Okay. All right. Well, I was trying to do the last couple of days. I've been trying to do some research on your shop there, and then about an hour into it, I just realized I ended up just binge watching Swamp People. So I don't know how that happens. You Google Louisiana, and somehow you always get rerouted back around to Troy Landry. Yeah,
Troy Landry's father and his brother Ricky and them, they own another company that sells, season and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
They've been coming to me for about 25 years.
That's awesome. What's it like being a Democrat selling guns?
I'm not a Democrat. I hate to break your heart.
Oh, you're not? Oh.
Hell no. I'm a full-blooded conservative Trumpster.
Oh, okay. Well, CB gave me some bad information then.
He sure did. I'm still flying the American flag and Trump underneath it.
Okay, there you go. Well, that's the way to do it. We got a lot of people like to just kind of quiet down after all this has happened, but I'm like, we got to kind of still speak up about all this.
No. I see things changing drastically.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are scared, extremely scared. And there's no hope. Nobody wants to invest into the future now.
Right.
They're backing off. They're scared, and they don't know what's going to happen from day to day.
Yeah.
There's no security or hope. It's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. I do understand that in your shop, you have at least 2 anti-Democrat walls. What are those about? What do you got going on?
We got an anti-Democrat section. It deals with tactical shotguns, a lot of your ARs and so forth, and different things like that. Now, 90% of the guns in the anti-Democrat section are sold to mostly my farmers with, thermal or digital night vision, because right now, the pigs are worse than the Democrats right now, if you know what I mean. It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually I have a small farm here in Texas, and even even over here we're experiencing quite a big issue with just not even being able to, farm your property because the pigs have just completely ravished the land. And it's like if you went through and you plowed everything and re-leveled out everything, the next night you'd have to be doing the same thing again if you don't get them under control pretty quick.
I got a farmer in the last week. They're averaging from 20 to 40 pigs a night.
What's his address? I'll get over there. We'll get some guys over there.
It's right here by my store. And then another farmer of mine, Zach, turned around and he killed right at 2,000 last year on his property.
Dear
Wildlife
Lord.
and Fisheries actually come out there with a biologist and showed him how to bury them, use lime and everything without causing a lot of smell.
Wow. Well, okay, so you got me beat on the pig problem. You guys got it. You guys got it big down there.
They're coming into the city limits.
Wow.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that there's flocks of stimmies rolling into the shop then, getting some thermal and night vision.
Yeah, the problem we got, that's with everything right now. We can't meet the demand right now. say I had 20 thermals or so, we can only get like 2 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ammunition's the same way.
Yeah.
They need 1,000 rounds of ammo for this week to shoot pigs, and we can't get them but 100.
Yeah, that's been frustrating across the board, and even here as a manufacturer, we've had to deal with a lot of that. And you've got a whole list of dealers that need a bunch of product, and we have to, say, like you said, you got 20, we might only be able to send you out 2, and then you still got the other 18 on order, but they're just going to trickle in.
The problem we're having, there's too many hoarders out there. People that are not dedicated to this business, they're getting product, from wholesalers or whatever, or another dealer turns around in order to meet his quota with a manufacturer. He sells out his back door to other people with an FFL license, which do not have a structured business, pay taxes, insurance, and everything. A lot of that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And what it's doing, I'm looking at hundreds of dealers across America fixing to shut their doors pretty soon because they can't get nothing.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I personally, I know a few guys who just do this Facebook auction stuff, and they're classified as a dealer, not here through our company, but through other companies. They're classified as a dealers, and they're getting some products, and they're able to auction them off on Facebook, and they don't even have a brick and mortar location or anything like that. And there's very little money investment involved on their part. How do you combat something like that?
We offer service, and we have a lot of companies like y'all and Browning and so forth, Benelli, that really help us out a lot. We're master dealers. So what they're doing, they're looking for that and shutting them down. And then say if they do go through a wholesale outlet, they're sending in a list. This is the dealers you're going to sell to in Louisiana. If you break this, we cut you off.
Yeah.
Glock is one of the best for it. Now our crossbow companies are doing it right now. They offered that this year. They just set up a few of us in like Louisiana, Texas, whatever.
Yeah.
If you violate any of their bylaws, I'll call it, they shut you down.
Oh, wow.
It's over.
No more product.
Yeah, it's over. Well, it's not that. Let's take someone like me. I turn around and buy from between 250 to 300,000 in crossbows and bows. You gonna cut my throat for somebody up the road that's gonna sell $3,000?
Right. That doesn't even make sense.
You know what I'm saying? They know they can make a projection. Okay, Pookie did this. Next year we'll add, 3 to 5%. We'll predict he sells that much more.
Right.
It gives them confidence on what to order and materials or whatever and bill. When they get a structured dealer network.
Yeah. They're trying to forecast everything just like most other businesses are and put you up with goals to meet.
Well, the goal's easy to meet with me because we service everything and we actually do hands-on. We take them to the range in the back and show them how to operate the equipment. We don't get equipment back. If they choose to get it off the internet or something, they're bringing it to my store and they've screwed the bow up and then say the company doesn't want to warranty it.
Right.
Or like with your stuff, they'll come to us. I can't do this. Look, come see. Go right here, get your mode, click, click, click. See this bottom one all the way down at the bottom? 2 up, this crosshair, click there. That's how you do your side in.
Yeah.
Here's how you do your black out to white out.
Yeah.
Well, they'll get it off the internet. Or like me, I'm going to go to YouTube and learn how to overhaul a Duramax when I don't know what the injector is. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
That's the problem we're faced with. It's putting a burden on pro shops like me because everybody's flooding us with internet product. I can't cut it on. I don't know how to operate it.
Right.
How do you do this? Well, I'm trying to tend to the other hundreds of customers I'm dealing with.
And there's a huge movement right now into just technology optics with your digital and your night vision, or your digital night vision and your thermals. And a lot of it is coming from, the old farmer who grew up on granddad's Remington. And, that comes with just your traditional rifle scope, if not iron sights. And they just buy these things online and get them shipped out to them and not realizing that it's a damn computer you just got. and you're not going to be able to operate it unless you take the time to, even reading through the manuals on some of these things, it doesn't work quite as good as just having somebody help you walk through it in person.
Okay, you heard what you just said.
Yep.
If you're not mechanically inclined,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or computer inclined, or
Right.
whatever. How can you operate this when you don't know which way is up or down?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Even YouTube, they'll watch YouTube videos, nonstop. But if you're not mechanically inclined, I have to take my hand, and put their hand. This is what you do, and go through several steps before they finally understand,
Sure.
Or they'll call me on the phone. They're in the woods, what happened here? You did this wrong. Go right here, hit this, blah, blah, blah.
Well, and these devices, a lot of them come with firmware updates. As technology improves, you update the firmware, and all of a sudden the video you watched that was posted in 2017 might not be as accurate as what it is today. And so they're going to end up at your door anyway, trying to figure out how the hell to use the thing.
I'll tell you what I like about Pulsar. It identifies each icon, I'll call it, when you click on it, zeroing,
Yeah.
color, whatever.
Sure.
It helps you out there. It's easier for the customer to understand your product.
Sure.
Some of them out there with the manual and the engineer that designed it, we still can't get it to come on.
Yeah, and they'll give you just the icon and don't actually label it through device on what that icon is, and now you got to try and decipher.
If you turn around and build a product and it's friendly, I call hunter friendly, you will grow that product line. If you sit there and cater to this younger generation that turns around and all they're worried about is an iPhone or something like that, that younger generation is not replacing me, you, or nobody else like that. They could care less.
Right.
They'll buy this unit just to tinker with it.
Right.
They're not going to use it to hunt what it was designed for.
Oh, yeah.
I see that every day. They come to me and want to sell it to me after they order it off there. Okay, I'm through playing with it, blah, blah, blah. And they want, no, you have to go sell that on eBay or something, I don't want it.
Yeah.
We're not addressing the people that's actually wanting this product and to use it and, use it to protect their farmland from destruction from hogs and so forth and coyotes.
Let me ask you this. As a guy who, let's go back to your recent scenario where you've ordered 30, we'll say that you ordered 30 of the Sightmark Wraiths, and you got 2 of them in, and today you got 4 people walk in your store wanting one. Do you make any... I mean, is it up to you to try and decipher what they're going to use it for? I mean, is it a farmer who needs to manage the pig population, or is it a kid who's screwing around? And
my business is a pro shop. They come here to get the right product in order to do the job. When I'm doing rifles right now for customers that got their tags to go elk hunting in Colorado, whatever.
Gotcha.
Right now, we're setting them up with the right scope. I'll find out the altitude he's going to. Well, you can't use but these 3 brands. You buy this scope right here, by the time you get to 2,000 foot sea level, your scope's fogged up.
Gotcha.
We're making sure they got the right equipment to do the job with,
Gotcha.
or that dream hunt they're going on. The same thing happens with the Wraith or whatever.
Right.
The Wraith, to me, in my opinion, compared to everything out there, is the simplest, the friendliest, and the one that gives the less trouble.
Yeah.
In digital.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to fool with.
Well, and that right there, having a custom tailored experience with going into a shop and having you guys actually break down what it is they're needing to do, that speaks volumes. Now, I don't usually do this, but I did tell you I was trying to look up a little bit about you guys in the last couple of days, and I did come across something that I thought was cool.
I'm not a social media guy, so you're not going to find much on me. I just use my phone to call and text.
I searched social media pretty hard. You hit it pretty hard in 2018. I think you got at least 6 posts that year, but since then you got 1 per year. You're right on track with my great-grandma.
Yeah, that I didn't build my business with them. I'm not dependent on them, if you know what I mean. Mine's word of mouth, and I'm going to keep it like that. And radio. I'm the radio king.
So what I was about to do is I found, while I was researching, from a review from a guy named Gerald. Now, you're not online as Gerald, are you? You didn't write this, did you?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna read it out real quick because Gerald said I drove 55 miles from Colfax to buy a rifle from here, and it was well worth the trip. His prices are really good, and his knowledge of what he sells is excellent. The man has a hilarious sense of humor. Beware, though, he's not politically correct. He's an honest local businessman. He makes really great package deals. The sight for my rifle was cheaper from him than I can buy from Amazon myself. Go see this guy. Just bring your sense of humor. That was a 5-star rating you got from Gerald. And the reason I like it is because he brought in your sense of humor. He talked about, how you're going to kind of build out a custom package for him. But the big thing was that you're able to kind of compete with Amazon, which Amazon doesn't sell rifles per se, but optics and stuff like that, they definitely dabble in. And nowadays, it's so easy for people, just like you were talking about, to just hop online and order it. But they're not going to know what they're getting. They're not going to know how to use it when they get it.
Amazon, Walmart, Bass Pro Cabela's Academy is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I wish they'd build on the side of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I could capitalize on that. They have inside these stores, no one there knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And most of them stay on a cell phone all day while customers are waiting in line to be addressed.
Right.
I'll do something different. If my store fills up, it's elbow to elbow, I'll do like this. Who's here to buy shotguns? They raise their hands, or they'll say, me. Y'all come right here, and I'll go down the line describing all the features of the different shotguns. And one will say, I want that. Well, I'll look at my employees and say, look, get him a 4473. Let's start processing him. I will never, ever do like these discount stores. You got somebody coming in there looking. If you're going to look in my store, look. I got people buying. They're coming first. When I dress them, I'll go and tend to you. And you know what they'll say? I enjoy the show. I'm having a good time. But I will never, ever in my business spend 1 hour with somebody looking that already told me they're not there to buy. It's not going to happen.
No. Well, it's wasted effort. So you've been doing this for a long time. You can probably pinpoint those people as soon as they walk through the door. Don't they have they got to present themselves a little differently?
Oh, yeah. I'm a good reader. I can read people good. Oh, yes.
Well, there is a slew of new people coming into the industry, whether it's 8 million plus new gun owners over the last year. I know archery has also been taken off with just people trying to find things they can do outdoors away from people. COVID's got everybody scared to death. With all these new people coming to the industry, you got any funny experience with a new gun owner, or maybe somebody getting into archery that just wasn't really comfortable in the store?
No. When someone comes into my store, we start building a relationship, and then, we'll start laughing and cutting up. Most of the time, all you got to do is add a little funny political joke, and it's over with. They're sitting there talking to you. You feel like best friends, Well, for a lot of these new people coming in, it might be their first time ever walking into a gun store when they walk through your door. They're just a little unsure of what they're even looking for. Correct. That's where shops like mine throughout America come in handy. Yesterday we dealt with a lot of women that were scared, because their neighborhoods are being overrun by the criminal,
right?
Whatever you want to call it. But anyhow, we turn around and I went over the different handguns we have and so forth, and then mace, how to use it, stun guns. Well, the next thing I know, they're sending someone else there. Another lady again said, you need to go there. The man explained everything to me. Now I'm not afraid of the gun. I know the operating features and so forth. And, he just laid it out for me where I could understand.
Yeah.
You have to talk to these people in their language, common sense.
Sure.
That's what's missing a lot across the whole nation. Just be common sense is all it takes, and just be there for them. That's number one.
Well, and I think that's really important because, I've talked about it before where people that are new to the industry, they're just unsure about everything. They don't really know what firearm they want, what optic they want. And it takes guys like you to be able to help steer them in the right direction. but also make it fun and interactive and get them in a relaxed environment where they're like, hey, look, I get that you don't know everything. That's okay. I'm going to help you out. That same guy, before he met you, was on Facebook or on Google trying to figure it out. And he's just got a mosh pit of guys that are already in the industry, already gun owners, just dogging on people that don't know nothing. And it's frustrating for me because I see the 8 million plus new gun owners over the last year. I see these guys as tremendous potential to help us fight back against the attacks on our Second Amendment. But we struggle to be able to get them engaged when all they face is, negativity or shame for not knowing everything right out of the gate. And the truth is, everybody starts off at 0 miles per hour. You don't get up to speed until you've talked with guys like yourself that are able to kind of steer them in the right direction.
Yeah, and I'll use something for you right here. They'll come in here and say, Pookie, how far can I see with that XM30? I said, you can see a Democrat at 400 yards at this black door. Well, they bust out laughing. He'll say, I'll take two,
Yeah.
But if you don't build a relationship, and you can actually use this political atmosphere in order to increase your sales.
Sure.
By little comments like that. And then, they feel comfortable. Look, this man's on my side,
Exactly. Yep. Let me ask you this. Have you tried anything to kind of kickstart people into maybe voicing their support for the Second Amendment when they buy a firearm from you or anything like that? Has there been any kind of
The reason they're coming to me is because they're defending the Second Amendment. That's
Sure.
why they're coming to start off with.
Sure.
Look, I dealt with a couple. The fella moved away from here 30 years ago. It was so bad in New York. He met a woman up there. He turned around and filed for early retirement and left to come home. He says they were destroying their personal property, these goons, I call it. Okay.
Yeah.
So they left. All right. His wife, raised in New York, when we showed the gun, she acts like it was a plague.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's poisonous,
Yeah.
Well, after he turned around the second glass of wine, he said, right here behind my store on the lake, turned around and said, Pookie, after that that glass of wine, she started shooting my gun. She hit the bullseye. I've already sold her 5 guns. She found out that it was not what they claim it is up there.
Yeah.
And like Casey and the Sunshine Band, the whole band come here, the casino brought them here. They come here and they actually thought that a gun was a disease, and it's not.
No.
If you're taught responsibility, how to use it and so forth, and, some people just want to use it for sport.
Right.
They come right here. I let them shoot my machine guns and everything. You know what they said? They said, can we come shoot tomorrow? I said, yeah, if y'all don't vote for Nancy Pelosi no more. They started laughing, And every year they come,
They shoot a few rounds and they're like, wait a minute, this is fun. We've been lied to.
That's exactly right. You have to put them through that experience and the fun part of it. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll say, this is not bad like they said.
Well, but my biggest drive is I want to try and get these new gun owners as engaged as possible. So let me float you an idea. And I don't know if this is by any means possible. Feel free to call me stupid. What if I printed you out a sign, you put it right there by your register, and all it had was the number to your congressman on it. And you told every customer that was going to buy a rifle, I'll give you $20 off your overall purchase. If you call this number right here in front of me, you're going to get a voicemail, and all you got to do is leave a voicemail saying who you are and that you're calling to voice your opposition to any attacks on our Second Amendment. Do you think anything like that'd be possible?
Oh, I got something better than that. The congressmen and senators come to my store all the time, and then I also throw little organize for them. I'll have people that come here. We'll start cooking jambalaya. eggs with crawfish and so forth. And they'll come over here and we got a band and we'll have hundreds of people over here and they're sitting and listening to their comments in person.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because CB told me that sometimes you guys will just be, that you were just a good old Cajun guy. And sometimes y'all just be sitting there in normal conversation and all of a sudden a crawfish boil or something comes out and you always got the spread ready to go.
Oh, I got a custom kitchen back of my store. I got manufacturers, reps, and also the owners of the company come here and eat, but we got one problem.
What's that?
When they come over here and eat what I cook, they say, Pookie, can you give me that recipe? And you mind talking to my wife and tell how you cook this? I said, you trying to get me in the doghouse.
Nice.
No, but we cook here. It's very serious over here. We love our food over here, I promise you.
Well, it's interesting. I did a crawfish boil a couple of weeks ago, and I guarantee it wasn't on your level. But you mentioned eggs and crawfish, and I had never even thought about putting boiled eggs in my crawfish boil, but I'm sure glad I did. For the first time a couple of weeks ago, my buddy was like, I went over to Louisiana the other day, and they had some we had this big boil going and they threw a bunch of eggs in there and we had boiled eggs and I was surprised. I was actually blown away by the amount of flavor that those eggs absorbed.
Drop a whole onion in there, a good white onion, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Then tear that skin off and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that next time too because I didn't do onions either. I did potatoes and...
Or get you some good Richard sausage or something like that and drop in there. Oh, my God.
Nice. The next thing that I was going to talk to you about was,
I know what it is. You're going to send me 20 XM30s and a couple of X250s. Is that what it was?
I was going to get you an order put in on those, and we'll get them out as soon as we can. No, I'll tell you what, I can't get you any products. You have to go through CB for all that, but I'll tell you what I can do. I don't know if you're aware. But did you know that CB does some modeling for us here at the office?
Lord have mercy. I don't want to see that picture.
What I can get you, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this for you. I got an 18 by 24 poster with CB on it that I'm going to go ahead and have him sign that thing for you. And I'm going to send it out to you and you can put it up anywhere you want to on the store. And CB is going to come visit you and see that sign hanging up and...
I'm going to put it in the front. That way it might run the Democrats off.
It's guaranteed to run the Democrats off. I can guarantee that. Hey, I did hop on your website and I checked out your website. It looks like it's a pretty new website. You got that launched up in, what was that?
No, it's actually but the problem we got, Jeff, we cannot deal with the traffic coming through the front door. So
Sure.
We had to pull a lot of stuff off of the website and we left it alone because right now with this crisis that's been going on for the last 2 years, we don't have time to address the internet.
Sure, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to poke fun at you a little bit because you got the Wraith HD 4x32 on there, but hell, we've got 2 new Wraiths since then. I figured you'd have those up there on that bad boy.
No, we can't keep up with the waiting list we got. So it doesn't do me no good to put it on the website because they'll be contacting me to purchase it, and I can't fill the orders inside the store.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
If you would send me a couple of thousand of them, I'd have to go to the internet.
Oh, well, I was loading up my truck the other day. I had some buddies that do some Facebook sales. I was going to drop them off with them, but I might be able to run them down there to you instead.
No, I'm going to build my own business right here with my clientele and so forth, and my customers coming through my door every day that support me, for over 30 years. I just don't have room for the internet right now because everybody coming through the front door is buying what we get in.
Well, you know what? I admire the hell out of the way that you've built up the store. And the reason is you have, and I can hear in the way that you're speaking about it, you have a sense of pride about what you've been able to build in the community that you've been able to get together there and just all your clientele. The guys who are operating off of social media and all online, they're missing that sense of pride because they don't have that tangible building where they can walk in and see accomplishments every single day and see the look on people's face when they know that they got the right setup. So it gives you a different type of swagger. I'll say that.
Now, remember this here. If you don't love what you do and love your business, you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
If you come through the door every day, oh man, I got to open the door today. That's not going to work. You're going to go backwards, period. That's with anything. I don't care what it is.
So when you guys were closed down for the last 8 months for COVID, what'd you have to do?
No, Louisiana wouldn't shut down.
Oh, you didn't shut down the store there?
Oh, no.
I thought you were doing something called Uber Guns, where you partnered up with Uber, and they just came by and picked up people's firearm purchases.
No, I actually told some of my manufacturers don't use them no more. I like getting my stuff in 2 or 3 days, not 3 or 4 months.
Oh, well.
When they get here, they drunk or something. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about me using them. You can forget about that.
Well, I was making a joke about all these restaurants that closed down their brick and mortars and started going to Uber Eats, and that's the only way they were staying in business.
No, if they would have used their head, they could have got around that.
We'll get the same drivers that are delivering McDonald's to just go to the manufacturer, pick up the firearm, take it to whoever it belongs to. They could even do the FFL transfer if we set them up with the right computer system.
No, we turned around and we set up. I actually did this when it kicked off in March. In April, I turned around and called in my fella that has a fab shop up the road, and we put up plexiglass all the way around to where we could turn around and talk to our customers where we didn't have to wear these masks. And when the state come in, they looked at it. They could get their camera. They wanted to take pictures and do their offers like that.
Nice. Yeah.
I put up a state-of-the-art system to protect me and my employees and my customers. But
Yeah.
I did that as soon as all this crap, because I've been through more than one pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, have you had any problems?
Oh, no. And then over 99% of the people coming are saying this crap, it's crap, what's going on. And it was politically connected. You do not shut your economy down. We're set up to address everything. Did they shut the economy down for the flu or anything else? No.
Right.
They sure didn't.
Right.
You know?
Well, the good news is the flu's gone now. We don't got to worry about the flu no more. The cure for the flu just happened to be coronavirus. That's interesting.
Watch this. When the corona hit, I noticed people quit dying of heart attacks, cancer, and everything else. That's amazing. Everybody died of corona.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you notice that too?
I noticed that. Yeah. I had a close family friend of mine whose mother passed away during the height of the pandemic. Stage 4 lung cancer. She'd been fighting it for a long time. She passed away stage 4 lung cancer, and the death certificate didn't mention lung cancer, which was really, really interesting. And the sad part is you got no way to combat that. You can't say, I mean, you can say it's wrong, but who's going to listen to you?
I can tell you this now. My granddaughter, they said she had the corona, contracted at school, a bunch of them. I had a problem. I turned around, went and seen her specialist. I told him what was going on. He busted out laughing. He checks her. Severe sinus tract infection.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that.
I went and got her checked, and he did the rapid test and the long test.
Yep.
You know, the ones that you got to wait for?
Yep.
Negative.
Yep.
But it said positive at the school. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Dog it.
Well,
they get thousands of dollars for turning that in.
Uh-huh. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's been an interesting time because you know that for me, I see a lot of it is all these businesses are taking safety procedures, but the majority of them are just doing it so they don't get sued. And it just plays into the narrative that, you know.
Jeff, if I was a lawyer and somebody sued a business for corona, when I bring up the flu and everything out there and AIDS and so forth and everything else, a sensible judge would throw everything out.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know?
Unfortunately.
Because the corona's only the 300 version of the flu, I understand.
Yeah.
A modified genetically flu, I call it.
Unfortunately, it appears we don't have too many sensible judges anymore. There's a few of them out there. Still a few good ones.
You know what's missing in our politics? It's real easy. It's called common sense.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, they got common sense gun control. They're trying to pass that right now. They even put common sense in front of that.
Let's enforce the 28,000 laws we have on the books. Let's quit making new ones.
There you go. Well, and even in the even in Biden's executive orders from last week, he talks about, community violence intervention programs, and these are supposed to take the place of incarceration. And it's like,
I got a problem with that.
What people to commit crimes and then stage an intervention program instead of just making them serve the penalty for whatever it is that they do. Why would that change anything?
I'm going to use common sense. The only places I see cities and states that are having problems where you can't own a gun. So if I'm a criminal, hold on. Y'all, we're going to set up our base operations over here. Because guess what? The law-abiding citizens can't own a gun.
Right.
And we'll be the only ones with a gun.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what's happened.
Well, and that's what you see in Chicago, for instance. I mean, they've got record gun shootings every single weekend. I think I saw a headline yesterday. It's 30 people shot last weekend in Chicago. Well, they got some of the strictest gun laws.
And they'll take our money, do a gun back buy program, and then 2 months later, the same guns are back on the street. That's amazing.
The gun buyback programs really irritate me because
it's a joke.
What it is it's an incentive for criminals to steal more firearms. That's what it is. It's a crime incentive. There is a large portion of theft where the target item they wanted to steal was a firearm. You see that in vehicle break-ins, home entries. A lot of times they're after firearms and jewelry and money. If you do a national buyback program and you say, hey, no questions asked, bring your guns in and sell them to me, these criminals that were going to do this stuff anyway are just going to say, well, now I don't have to sell this to the pawn shop for nickels. Now I can sell it directly to the federal government for market value. And they're going to be out there trying to steal more of these illegal firearms that they're doing anyway.
Oh, they're doing something different. They'll go to Walmart and buy a pellet pistol for $24.99. Bring it over there and get $150 for it.
I'm going to write that down. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm writing that down right now.
Yeah, they did that just recently. We had a city in this state that actually they elected a bunch of crazy-ass Democrats, and they started this crap. And they were going by these pellet pistols and going back and getting $150, or they would bring a piece of a gun and just a barrel, and they would give them the $150.
Wow. That's
Y'all
insane.
see how ridiculous that is. And that's our money. Now, you know what they'll do? Hold on, we got to raise y'all taxes now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then wait till next year. I want to see, oh, Lord, I want to see how many of these Democrats going to have tears in their eyes when they got to pay all them taxes.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I don't know. I think the party of vote blue, no matter who, they don't tend to get tears in their eyes too often. They just swallow it up and point it at somebody else.
I know a lot of people that voted for numbskull Biden now, and they turned around, and I had some diehard Democrats in my store yesterday, and they said that was the worstest thing they ever did in their life was to vote for that idiot.
Yeah. Well, that brings up an interesting question. So as a diehard Republican gun store owner who has 2 anti-Democrat walls in his store
and Trump flags everywhere,
there are Democrats that own firearms. What do they say when they walk into you? Do you guys make light of the situation, kind of joke about things, or has anybody ever bit your head off?
Oh yeah, I cut up with them. I said, look, I'll call my crew in. Look, y'all want to see a hypocrite? Here's a hypocrite. He's wearing a vote for Joe Biden and wants to get a gun from me. Do I sell him one or not?
My guess is yes.
That's just a hypocrite, you know.
Yeah.
And the same person owns all kind of land and rent houses and so forth. And then he wants to cry when they have taxes. And guess what they say? Trump's causing these tax increases. Trump's gone. Biden's in office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, you're blaming somebody that's not even there no more.
Yeah.
I listened when David Vitter got elected, the first Republican senator in the state of Louisiana in over 200 years. The man got elected. He wasn't sworn in yet. Our other officials, elected, was blaming him for all the problems that he caused it. I said, hold on. The man's not even been sworn in yet. You know what I'm saying? The problems we have is what y'all created over the last 20 years. But it's so stupid.
Well, it's stupid back and forth, and it's a crazy political environment we're in. And
remember what I'm telling you. The working class Americans are not stupid. Remember what I'm telling you.
No,
watch what happens next year. We're going to take 50 to 80 seats in Congress. Watch what I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, we're not stupid. And, people tend to I know personal friends of mine who are just like, man, I can't even look at the news anymore. Everything is just so crazy. And all these companies are doing crazy things. And, and I got to reassure people. I got to tell them and bring them back down to earth and just say, listen, the reason you're seeing these stories in the news is because they are crazy. Like they don't report on non-crazy things anymore. They're just looking for whatever's going to get the most clicks. And the fact that these stories are in the news means that you're a normal person. We need to be worried when they stop reporting on these really crazy stories, because that means they are now normalized.
I love Nancy Pelosi and him. They turn around and do a poll through social media to determine if they're going to pass a law or bring it to the House floor. You ever heard of shit like that before?
Well,
that's unheard of.
I've never participated in any political polls, and that's interesting because I see a lot of them that try to include me.
Yeah, they want to do a poll to see if they need to pass this legislature. I never heard of nothing like that in my life.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
It's insane. Well, hey, Pookie, I know you got a store to run, so I'm not going to take any more time from you. I want to thank you for coming on and giving me some time. I'm going to make sure and get this beautiful printout of CB up here to you.
Make sure when you send it with about, around a dozen XM30s and a couple of the UXQ50s or whatever. Roll them up in its poster.
All right, but this is the Sightmark podcast, so I'm going to send you some of those Wraiths, too. We'll get you the 4x32s and some of those 2x16s.
I really like the original Wraith.
Do you?
Because it has a rail on top.
Yeah.
Yes, when we go to upgrade the IR, it centers it up perfect. The one on the side, we can't get a full picture out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
And, we sell a lot of upgraded IRs. You can increase the distance by hundreds of yards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
But if they would put that rail on top, it's really, it's more beneficial.
Well, I'm making some design notes now, passed by the guys here at the office, and let them know your feedback. A lot of guys, the 2x16 received a lot of positive feedback just with the lower base magnification, because some of these guys some of the guys that aren't running binoculars and are just running their scopes are having to scan their fields through that scope, and they just like that lower base magnification. So they like that. They tend to like that quite a bit. But
correct. But the only problem we got is when we upgrade the IR, the rail mount needs to be on top.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll make a note of it, and I'll get it over to the guys and see if we can get you a whole set of unique Wraith 2x16s with a rail on the top there.
Yeah, the top actually works better. I'm serious, it does. If you get a better, you can fill up your exit pupil, a lot better.
Sure. Well, and for me personally, I always try to get my IR up under the barrel. This is just a personal preference for me, but I like it underneath just so that when you shoot and you get that muzzle flash and a little bit of smoke coming up, and I know it doesn't take long, but just the little bit of time that it passes through that IR light kind of messes with my vision just a little bit. So I like my IR up underneath the barrel.
And you got to be careful with barrels when you mount your digital. if you got a shiny barrel, it will disclose some glare when you cut your firearm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you got so if you're able to move it to the top, you can eliminate a little bit of that glare.
Sure, yeah.
By, taking it off a flood and going to a better spot, you can get rid of the glare. Because I've had people call me from Texas and say I'm seeing white spots, and I'll tell them, do me a favor. Go get you a towel or something, throw it over your barrel and look. He said, it's gone. I said, you're catching glare off your barrel.
Right, yeah. Wow. Actually, I hadn't even thought of that. That's actually a pretty good point.
That causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably have trouble pinpointing what that problem is.
And it's a simple fix.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we're called a pro shop. They bring their problems to them, and we try to solve it.
You're like, well, dummy, you got the IR in the wrong spot. It's over here. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pookie, I'm going to let you go. We're going to sign off here. Thank you a lot for the time, and you guys keep killing it down there in Louisiana.
All right, buddy. Just start shipping product.
All right, we'll do it. Probably in 2022. We'll get you set up. And
Don't do that to me.
All right, Pookie. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, bud.
This was the On the Mark podcast. That was Pookie from Pookie's Archery and Guns, LLC, out of Louisiana. They're located over there in Mansura, so if you're anywhere around there, feel free to stop by. The phone number, in case you need it, it's 318-253-9001. And that website is pookiesarchery.net. Pookiesarchery.net. And that's Pookie, Pookie. Thanks a lot.